Thank y'all for being here to testify before the subcommittee today. Administrator Carmel, the cable security fleet exists to provide the federal government access to a fleet of U.S. flagged ships that are capable of laying or repairing undersea internet cables. And so I'm just curious, why has your proposed budget cut this program?
Thank you, sir. The Cable Ship Security Program consists of 2 ships, which is a generous description of fleet. But that said, my understanding was that when the budget was put together, there was sufficient carryover from previous years to fund the program for this year, and that we would deal with it again when we put the budget for 28 together, which we are doing. So
you would say that we will still maintain vessels that are capable of, I guess, we will maintain U.S. flag cable vessels, correct?
Yes,
okay.
That's true, sir.
Your budget proposes a new Maritime Security Trust Fund that will create a massive new funding stream for the Maritime Administration. What will these new funds be used for?
The funds in the Maritime Action Trust Fund are used for a variety of things, actually. They include a substantial component for PIDP, for example. Money for Kings Point is in there. Small shipyard grants, big shipyard grants. There's a lot of things in the Maritime Action Trust Fund. So a whole, basically that covers a gamut of how we do things. There is a large amount of legislative proposals that we've been working with our interagency partners to advance, and hopefully you'll be seeing those sometime soon that will clarify all this.
So considering that this proposal would more than double MARAD's funding, what steps are you taking to ensure that you would be able to efficiently administer these funds?
Internally, as we understand how the Maritime Action Trust Fund works, we are basically structuring ourselves to be able to execute as if it was in place.
So you know,
we have a contingency plan.
As you know, President Trump has called for reinvigorating our domestic shipbuilding capacity and protecting our maritime industrial base. How would the money from the new Maritime Security Trust Fund support those efforts?
There are several areas, aside from direct shipyard programs, efforts to, at the end of the day, any shipbuilding program has to be based on a reliable, consistent base of cargo so that owners of ships have confidence that if they place orders for ships, they have something for them to do. That is a fundamental fact, and legislative proposals advancing with our interagency partners address that, as well as some other things. The Strategic Sea Lift Fleet is another example of it. But at the end of the day, the single biggest thing we can do is cargo.
Is MARAD taking any steps to ensure that a new fee on commercial vessels would not result in higher costs for American consumers?
I think that's, I would like to say that we are executing the fees the way the program is designed to be executed. How that flows through the economy, I think, is a little bit beyond my remit.
Chairman Diabella, in your written testimony, you discussed allegations that the government of Spain is barring port entry to U.S. flagged vessels, and Spain is in NATO, and we're committed to defending them, and they won't even let our commercial ships dock in their ports. Why is the Spanish government denying access to these ships?
I keep forgetting to do that, I'm sorry. Thank you for the question. I wish I really knew, but the answer truly is ideological reasons. Was their reasoning in the not one, not two, but 3 times that we are aware of, and it's an active investigation, so I can only speak so much to that, but I can say that we're aware of at least 3 instances, and perhaps more, where there was denial of vessels, not only ours, but others, as it relates to their ideological stance towards the Gaza war.
How has the Spanish government reacted to the investigation that you all have done?
I don't believe I can answer that question in its entirety because of the active investigation that it is, but I can say that we have received over 8,000 comments to date. The comment period is actually closed, but in response to that particular investigation, which is very significant. So and it would include their response as well. They did respond to it, so.
Final question, are you aware of any other NATO countries that have denied U.S. flagged vessels from having access to their ports?
I've heard third person of other countries. I have not received any credible evidence of it yet, shall we say. So it'll be 5 months, June 6th, so perhaps I will receive that, but I have not yet.
Thank you. Yield back.